GingerGM.
With a longer time limit. And don't worry about ratings because it's totally irrelevant. I think you all know I'm a Grandmaster anyway. And I'm going to play Alekine's. I'm going to play D4. I play lots of different openings, so I don't know. I did tell Aldo a couple hours ago that I was going to play him. And he said, oh, what colour are you going to be? So I expect Aldo has got some cheeky little prep. Now, Memink, what's how you say it? Memink? I don't know. We might do that. I'll tell you what we do. We move. I could go London system. I could go Jabava London system. But I've done this quite a lot. I mean, I like mixing up for you guys a bit. I'm going to go knight to f3 because that basically means I haven't decided what I'm going to play yet. And I feel if I go there, Aldo would take it. I've got a sixth sense. He might do a Blair and take that one because something like that. We were preparing for e4 for last. Oh, were you? Oh, right. Okay, so you set me up there, Blair. You set me up. Good. I haven't gone in your prep. You know what I'm going to do? People are calling for the Colle Zukertort system, and I think I'm going to play that if I can remember how to do it. Now, this is where you go here, 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 and here. And I don't think I've ever done a video on it. And it seems like a good opportunity to do one now, yeah? So let's go e3. Now, this is a move I very rarely played. I think I played it once in the British Championships, and I beat Ravi Harrier, strong junior international master. And it looks quite weird because you're trapping the bishop in. So on the surface of it, it doesn't look like a very good move. I mean, putting the bishop on f4, is more logical in some ways. That's the proper London system. So this is the one problem with this pawn. So the only way I feel to justify this system is to, when you're playing any opening, you need to know where all your minor pieces are going, where you want to put your king, what pawn structures you want, what your middle game ideas are with your pieces. Why did you put your pieces there in the first place? What's the idea? It's always why. Keep asking yourself why? Why am I doing that? What am I trying to do? This is key. And the only way to make sense of this one really is to put the bishop on b2. Now could I also take here and try to get this gambit line that Blair was showing me a tempo up? I wonder. Let's have a think. Take there, here, 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 here. Takes, bishop here. Did you all follow that? That's another way I can play. So basically, I was just talking about this earlier on. This is just basic opening knowledge. Obviously, I've played for so many years. I know most openings. When you're learning, you don't need to learn every opening. So I'm just deciding where I want to take the game. When you're white, you should really be in charge of the game. What kind of middle game do you want? So I'm just deciding, do I want to take here and play a reversed Queen's Gambit accepted, a tempo up, which could be quite interesting? Or do I want to stick with the Colle and play b3, which is also very playable. Now, I'm kind of tempted to play b3 and just see what my opponent's going to do. But I'd be more inclined to play b3 once my opponent's gone e6, because I'm thinking, well, he can now get his bishop to one of these two squares. Does that worry me if I go b3? Probably not. Probably not. So this is the way you develop in the Colle. You go the best way. You go b3, bishop b2, and you've got to think about these three pieces. Where do you put these? You put bishop on d3, knight on d2, bishop on b3. This is what you do. So I could go for this line, which I don't really know, or I could play something a little bit more. I'm gonna go b3. The reason you don't go bishop d3 straight away is because of c4. So I'm gonna stick with the Colle Zukertort. Now I have done quite a lot of work on. I've done work on a lot of openings in my life, and on this one, the Colle system, I've done something for Chessable. So I'm going to go for this. Okay, so Aldo's developed here, so I'm going to continue by going here. This is normal. I want to save my time for later on. I mean, even though I'm trying to talk you through it, got to make sure I save some time. I'm going to see now what Aldo does. He's got a couple of decisions. Does he bring his bishop out? Does he play g6 or does he play e6? These are the decisions he's got to play. Because, again, Aldo's doing the same as me. He's got to think where to move these bishops to. These both need to find some squares in order to develop. Now, my pronunciations are terrible. Exoplanets. A bit dyslexic, so I sometimes struggle. So you'll have to go easy on me there. Okay, so Aldo's trying to play an aggressive system where if I take here, he's going to go e5. I don't want to take here. This is my, like, frontal pawn. Prawn, did I say? If I go bishop d3, will he take, and go knight b4? Because you also, as well as doing your own ideas, you have to think what your opponent's doing and try to stop his ideas. So if I go here, takes, knight b4. I could castle there, got decent development, but you know what? I'm just going to play am I going to play a3? No, I'm going to go knight bd2. a3 is a bit slow. I'm not worried about him taking and going here. That shouldn't bother me. So let's just develop this one. And again, I'm kind of waiting to see how Aldo develops. And I'm playing this quite flexible. So I haven't decided exactly where I want to put this piece. Normally you want to put it on d3, but on d3 it's not as strong, for example, if he goes g6. I want to put it on this square if he goes e6, because the whole point of putting the bishop here, this is one of your star pieces, is to attack h7 when he castles. But if my opponent, Aldo, plays g6, putting the bishop on d3 doesn't make much sense to me, because I'm not going to checkmate him with a pawn on g6. So I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. I mean, also, if he goes bishop g4, I probably put my bishop on e2 because I want to break it. So he's playing a line quite sensibly, developing his bishop, and he has ideas against c2. So I've got to be careful now, because he might want to take, go knight b4, and I could be lost in that position. The one downside of this move for black, quite often, is that knight to h4 might win the bishop pair. So can I do this now, or should I play the super safe a3? a3 is a very happy move to play because I stopped this move, knight b4. And again, you've got to be very aware of your opponent's ideas. And after a3, I want to go knight h4, maybe put my bishop on d3 then. Or do I play knight h4 straight away and try to avoid it? Well, if I go there, bishop can come here. I can go f3. He comes bishop h5. I go g4. He goes here. I can take it. I'm okay. Let's see. Can I get any trouble here? Like, no, not there. I don't think. If he goes here, I can. If he goes bishop e4, that's quite interesting. Bishop e4. Oh, I can take it. And if he goes pawn takes, my knight can even come to f5. I win the bishop pair. I think I'm going to go for this move. This is one way to try and take advantage, like in the London system, when your opponent puts this bishop on this square and these variations. This is a very common idea, and I think it's the move I should be playing. So I'm going to play knight h4. This is why often black doesn't bring the bishop out, but I think Aldo's a very principled player, meaning that he wants to get all his pieces to good active squares, and this is why I appreciate the way Aldo's playing. This is why I know he's a strong player. He always tries to get all his pieces to the best squares. He calculates well. He's a good player. Hello, Lord Calcifer, and anyone else who's just come along, LVH, and everyone else. Hopefully I stayed safe in my supply run. Lord Calcifer, you never know, do you? I mean, I could have picked up the disease as well. I don't know. Who knows? I had to queue for about 1.5 hours. Oh God, it was painful. By the way, if I go bishop here now, I'm still thinking he will take. I'll tell you about my queue in a minute. Let's get back to the chess. I think a3 is just a good move. I don't want this knight coming here, and I'm still waiting to see where he puts his pawn. If he goes e6, I put my bishop on d3 now, and I don't ever have to worry about this one. The reason I put my knight on d2, by the way, every move has a reason, is to develop a piece, but also I don't want to block the bishop in, and it's also to control this square. Okay, so Aldo's now lashing out. And this is a very dynamic move, but such aggression can backfire. And I think he's doing this because he doesn't want me to get my comfortable position. I don't have any choice. I've got to come back. But this is very, this is very risky for him, because now if he ever castles kingside, his king will be very exposed. And now with my knight on this square, I certainly don't want to come backwards. I'm not thinking about this too much. I'm going to come into e5. And Aldo may well castle queenside now, and we're going to get an interesting game. Yeah, so I had to wait 2 hours, basically. Oh, thank you very much for the donation. That's extremely kind. Thank you, C Beck, for that donation. Thank you for the game. For the game and the symbol the other day. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Cheers.
And
cheers.
crushing me.
Very kind of you to donate. Cheers. All good. All good. Okay, anyway, back to the game. If I do miss a donation or a sub, it just means that I'm concentrating on the game, so I'm not trying to be rude. I can't hear them, so don't try to get too annoyed. I apologise. Yeah, so we can't actually castle because of F7. So this is like maybe the one thing that Aldo's done here, and I used to suffer from this as well. I think Aldo's sometimes suffer from a similar thing I suffer from. Impatience, and he always wants to get an active position no matter what the cost. You know, sometimes you just can't get an active position. And it's still very interesting. Okay, so he's put his bishop back here. Let's talk about the game. I don't want to get in too much time trouble. So after bishop here, what can I do? Well, bishop d3 now. I mean, what I'm thinking now is quick development, open up the position, because my king, I reckon, will be quite safe on g1. It'll only not be safe if he can somehow get these moves in, but that takes ages. So I'm thinking get my pieces developed, play principal, get my king safe, and then open it up with some pawn break like c4, e4. So bishop d3 now makes some sense. Hang on a minute, let me just pause. That is paused. Some sense. But what else can I do? Okay, so also I can consider taking here and then opening up this diagonal in some cases, you know, by taking here, because he's weakened that diagonal. But I'm going to go in my principle, and bishop d3 looks right. If he takes it, what will I take with? I don't know, to be honest. Pawn takes is an argument. But I like this move, because another thing is, if he takes this one, then g4 becomes weak. This pawn is quite weak. Let's just play a normal, sensible move. You can't lose games, really, by playing normals, by doing two things. Playing sensible, good moves, developing pieces, and the second thing, being aware of what your opponent's doing. Well, you can still lose games, but it's a lot harder, obviously. If you do these two things, it's quite important. You know, just sensible moves, looking at what your opponent's trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do now. Okay, so now, tactically, do we have any tactics here? Interesting. So I could take on f5, or I could just take back. Keep it sensible. Aldo's trying to complicate. Now, if I take on c6, let's look at the... I'm going to just do a bit of calculation as quickly as I can. Take on c6. He can't take back because f5 drops. So if I take here, he has to take on d3. Do I have any moves there? Well, I could then move my bishop back, my knight to take on d4. And then he'd have to go something like bishop g6. But in that position, I'm lacking my light square bishop. I like my light square bishop. So I think takes not working for me. I don't have a good move. I mean, I could take there, and then he has to take here, but that's okay for him. The other option is bishop takes here. I expect then he'll go queen takes, not so good, because he's attacking my bishop. So I'm just going to play sensibly and take here. There's no need for me to do anything crazy in that position, unless I, miscalculated. It's easy to miscalculate sometimes as well, but you can train your calculation as you go along. Hello, Mary Hatman. Well, I think we're all staying as healthy as we can, basically. I mean, we just have to do what we can do. Okay, so now I have a big decision. Now, pawn takes looks horrible, at first glance, because I double my pawns. But sometimes having double pawns in the center can actually be good, because the center of the board is most important, and I would control all of these squares then. If I take with a knight, I don't control e4 as much. Knight takes is much safer, but I kind of, for some reason, I'm thinking about this one. Get a rook to this square, but knight takes seems a lot safer. Let's have a look at pawn takes though, just for the interest. Now, if he goes bishop g7, if I take there, takes, queen takes, I'm guarding this pawn, attacking there. He can get a bit of play, maybe a rook there, but knight takes is a lot safer, isn't it? A lot safer. I mean, I quite like my position after knight takes, because you know, I don't see any issues with my position at all. I'm going to maybe even go c4. But he can maybe castle. Not that I'm too worried about that, because my knight can come back. But I think I'm going to try pawn takes, just because it... Actually, I am going to go pawn takes. It looks a little bit more interesting to me. I'm worried, though, if I go pawn takes, my bishop will become very bad. This is the issue. If I go pawn takes, I need to do something with his pawn. Otherwise, I'm always going to have a bad bishop. If I go knight takes, I have more ways to get this bishop out, because I can go c4, try to get rid of this pawn, and later d5. So I'm just thinking positionally, pawn takes. Let's say he goes queen b6 then. Now I'm trying to talk myself out of playing pawn takes, because it is a rather weird move. But then I take on here. I mean, I'm going to pick up a pawn. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. I'm spending too much time. We're going to go pawn takes. Pawn takes is more fun, as Blueberry Monster is saying. Knight takes is... I don't know which is better. Pawn takes is playable, I think, because he has gone g5. I don't think it'd be so good if he hadn't put his pawn on g4. I think black's doing okay here as well. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I generally, by the way, I'm not going to be looking at the chat too much if while it's my move, because you might have a brilliant suggestion that I see. You know. Okay, so now Aldo's gone here, and the question is, whose king's going to be weaker? If he castles this way, I've always got f3, and his king will be very weak to open lines up. If he castles this way, well, it's going to be very hard for him to do that, because I've got this file. So I could now play b4, b5. I could just put my rook on the open line. That seems like a very sensible way to play rook here. Let's go for that. This is another advantage of taking with the pawn. We have a pressure. No, don't do that. Don't mouse slip. We have pressure against c6. Now, I suppose I could also say that was maybe a bit silly, because I mentioned this queen b6 move before. And I played this a little bit quickly, because now with queen b6, what am I actually going to do? With his idea of taking here. I don't really want to take here unless I'm winning a pawn. So if queen b6, can I win a pawn? Takes, takes, queen c2, rook c8, defending this pawn. And that doesn't look that great for me. I want to encourage my opponent to take this knight at some point, because then my pawn moves, my bishop opens up. Remember, the positional thing I'm worried about is my bishop. So after... Oh, stop doing stuff like that, mouse. After queen b6, I would like just a castle. Then if he goes knight takes here, I feel like I can get very good play there. Oh, another move I could do. I've just spotted I want to have a check here in some positions. So if he goes queen b6, I go b4, he goes knight takes here, I play bishop takes, he plays queen takes here, then I have a very strong check on a4, winning. King here, knight takes f7, checkmate. And if knight there, queen takes knight, checkmate. So this works out quite well. So queen here, and the move I want to play anyway is b4. Why do I want to play b4? Because my knight can come round. So he hasn't done that. So I'm thinking I either castle now or I play b4. Now b4 looks a bit stronger, because if you can create a threat, it's always good to create a threat and keep pressure on your opponent. Castling I can always do. I mean, but if I can go b4, which I'm going to do, I create a threat, maybe of playing b5. And I also now, my problem pieces, one of my problem pieces here, it's my knight and my bishop. Now, I say my bishop is bad, but it has good potential, and I don't think it's much worse than my opponent's bishop. Where does his bishop here go? The one piece that's given me an advantage is my knight on e5. This is fantastic. I think I have an advantage here. And you can see my pawn here does stop his knight ever getting active. So what I'm thinking of doing now is bringing my knight around. Aldo has stopped me from playing b5. I think now it is time, though, saying that, to castle, because in some cases I might want to play f3 and knight takes f3. And I'm going to have to castle at some point. I mean, I could go h3 here. This is also interesting. But I'm thinking that I want to open up the f-file. So I'm thinking f3 is the move I want to play. And this line is what I want to do. Now, this is... Remember I said earlier, his move... Okay, so this is a good move. So he stopped me playing knight here. That's a little bit annoying. And he's got bishop here check. So I'm now thinking, okay, that was not possibly the best. But I can go... I'm going to go rook c2. Aldo's moving quickly. So I don't want to... You know, I've only got 5 minutes. The idea of rook c2 is I want to go knight b3. I don't want him to take my rook. And if he takes here, I can go queen takes. And sometimes my other rook can come here. So later on, doubling rooks on the c file will certainly become a good opportunity for me. And the problem I mentioned earlier on, whenever you go g5 in any game, your king is weak. It is weak. Where do you put your king? Because if he ever castles kingside now, his bodyguards, his pawns, which are guarding his king, are doing all right in the position. I mean, not doing all right. They've run away. They're doing badly. His king will be very exposed. So long-term attacking plans are quite good for me. Now, I do want to play this f3 move, but I've got to watch out for bishop e3 check. So Aldo is now playing good positional moves. He's trying to get rid of this knight. But, I feel it might be time to start striking now. Because he's not very well positioned. Can I play f4? Let's say takes... And then if I can get my knight takes in, I like this. Even if he wins a pawn somehow, his king is going to be horribly exposed. But the only problem with playing f4 is I don't have the chance to play f3, if that makes sense. Can I play f3 in this position? And if he plays... He's not threatening to win a pawn because he's in a pin, so I'm not worried about that. I could also play something very sensible like queen e2. Queen e2's got to just be a good move, because I'm defending my knight and I'm stopping a check here. But am I worried about that check? So here, check, here. He can't take there. Or can he? Takes. Okay, here, check. I've got to move quicker. Here, takes, takes, takes. I'm going to play queen e2. This is just a... Oh, watch out for this move, Simon. Watch. Okay, you know what move? I'm going to play this move, king h1. Because a lot of my problems I've just noted are this coming in with check, and also knight takes here and knight takes queen with check. I just saw that if I go queen e2, he might have knight takes d4, rook takes queen, knight takes here, check. If I go queen e2 now and he takes here, I can take here. If he takes my queen, I take his rook with check. So this seems like a good little move. Okay, now I've got to make a decision what to do with my knight. And I really want to play... I mean, maybe I'm playing this too slowly. This is another thing I'm thinking. I think I'm going to take on c6, because pawn structure-wise, it gives him a bad pawn. Now, if I take there, he gets out of the pin. So I need to move a bit quicker. Let's take this one. And he has to take with a pawn. And is he going to go e5? Well, his king is still in the middle of the board. This is the problem he has. Now, if I go f3 now... he might be able to play g3. I don't really want him to play g3. So, should I be developing my knight now to c5? I like this move. This is a good positional move. I have two nice squares for my knight. I won't be able to look at much of the chat now, guys, because I'm moving quickly. Thank you for Otis for the cheer. So, I'm looking to get my knight to one of these two squares. And I'm also thinking... I mean, here actually looks like a logical square, because this is a real weakness now. Other things I can do, I'd love to get my queen into e6. My opponent has a lot of holes in his position. Okay, so he's played a good move. He's trying to find counterplay, because now if I play g3, he might have h5 later on. But I think I have to play this, and my idea, well, next, I want to play f3, if I can. Because, I mean, I've got lots of interesting moves. This move is very interesting as well, forcing his queen to go to a bad square. But I really want to play f3, but that's quite dangerous because he can play h4. If he plays h4 at the moment, I might have queen takes here. It looks now that my king's on the wrong square because it's lined up here. So another logical move, just be move my king back and say, what are you doing? Is he going to go e5? Maybe that's his idea. I also have knight here. I have a lot of ideas here, but I want to really play f3. Let's have a look. He goes h5. I take, he takes. It's getting very murky, that. I don't like it. This is the one move to watch out for. So do I move this knight to one of these two squares? If knight here, he has to take it, otherwise it will come in there. What does he take it with? Bishop takes. I'm going to move my knight here because it creates a threat and it pushes his queen, I feel, to b6. And his queen at the moment is a little bit dangerously placed because in some lines when he plays h4, his queen might be able to get in this way. So this is a semi-aggressive and defensive move, because I want to push his queen away to a less relevant square. And I feel like I really want to be playing f3, but maybe this is the wrong idea, f3. I'm not even sure. Another idea I could do is go queen e2 and just try to win on c6. Now, against queen e2, the only reason I'm not playing that so quickly is that he might play e5, which is very double-edged, but, you know, Aldo's a very double-edged kind of guy, you know. So here, and then can I play f3? That's looking. I mean, I think the thing is in this position, eventually, I think Black's king is more weak than my king. The only break my opponent has is this move. He only has h4. Now, he might be thinking of playing it now, but it just feels to me that that won't work. My rook here is also quite good to defend h2. I just feel that h4 won't work here. I've got this one coming in. I've got rook takes here. I think he has to play something passive. Aldo hates playing passive. Another thing I could do very simply after this is go queen c1 and just try to take here, win a pawn, win the game. So I've got a lot of tempting moves. You know what I might do? Another idea, like I said, king g1 is a very useful move. Just trying to stop my opponent. Chess is about doing your own plans, stopping your opponent's plans. This is what a lot of improving players totally forget. A lot of improving players totally forget that you've got to think what your opponent's doing. You know, it's like a boxer only punching a boxing bag. The boxing bag doesn't punch back, so you could be like, yeah, I'm a great boxer, do. But then as soon as you get in the ring, it's like, oh, they're punching me. What am I doing? You know, you get dumbstruck by the punching. So I feel now f3, he's going to go pawn here. I don't want to allow any counterplay like that. If I go f3 now, he still might go pawn here. So if I go queen here and he goes e5, then I want to play f3, do I? Or do I want to go... Okay, this looks like a good move. I really don't think Aldo could let my queen get into e6. My queen on that square would be incredibly strong. I mean, look at it. It's a lovely gaping hole. A big hole, a black hole in the middle of his position there. And my queen's like, you know, it's like a little spider. Is that what spiders do? What's that phrase about the spider and the web? I love that one. What's normal for the spider? What is it about the spider and the spider's web? I can't remember what it is now. I don't know. What the spider sees in the web is different to what the fly sees. I can't remember. Someone help me out. Yes. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. Something like that. We're getting nearer. I think we're getting nearer to the right phrase. Yeah, something like that. Is that right? Yeah, who knows? Okay, so he can now play e5, but opening the position when your king is in the middle can backfire. But if he doesn't do this, if he goes pawn here, now that his queen is not attacking g3, I can simply go queen takes here, he takes here, I go pawn takes. He can't go bishop takes because I go queen takes. And I wasn't able to do this before because his queen on c7 would take me. Okay, so he's allowing me in like Errol Flynn. But then he's going to come and do me over here. We don't want that to happen. Good move from Aldo. So. What do we do with the Aldo, what do we do? Okay, I love to play here, but he's getting a bit of counterplay. Now, I don't really want to move my rook away from this square, but I think one of these two's right, and I'm running out of time. Do I just defend it? Nah, if you can create threats, it's always better to create threats, and I feel this should be a threat, yeah. Taking on c6. So we're going to go rook c1. By the way, we do get 15 seconds each move, so I shouldn't run out of time. I haven't run out of time yet, but there's always a first. How many times have I lost when I've done this before? I've lost a couple of these before. I think Merry Hatman in the chat came close to beating me. I think Aldo has definitely drawn me. I don't think Aldo has beaten me yet, but it's always a first. Always a first. Not today, Aldo. Not today, please, sir. Tomorrow is... No, not tomorrow either. Another year, maybe. Another lifetime. Another lifetime's better. Now, how does Aldo defend here? The problem is, Aldo's got a tough position. Because Aldo's the type of player who needs activity. So he's gone for activity. And this might have been wise, actually. I mean, because now if I take here, which I was planning, he just takes here. So what I'm trying to do is just stop a lot of his activity. So the other thing I can do is just move my king, maybe. But let's have a look at some calculations. Here. And if I take there, I'm going to get back ranked here. His queen is very active if I take on this one. My queen only has a check. Check is not good enough. So, if I take, check. Can't I check? Can't I check here and take his rook? Take, check. King here, take here. That's winning, isn't it? Why can't I take on c6? This is what I'm thinking. Thank you for the subscription, Ahmed, sorry. Take. Just got to double check. Okay, I'm down on time. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this one. The only other move Aldo could have played is knight b8, but that was very passive. And I know Aldo doesn't like passive play. So can I do this? Let's see if we can do this. And the idea, his king is very weak. My king might look weak because he's using old Harry against me, but you've got to use proper calculation as well. So maybe he's going to go. Yeah, he's going to go king f7, of course. Now, what do I do next? I think I could just move my king, by the way, but I'm kind of looking for knockout blows already. I can just move my king here. I don't think there's anything to worry about, and because I'm short of time, this might be wise to do. Yeah. I don't want to take here because his queen comes in. I don't have a good check. So I think I'm going to move my king. And the point is, if he goes h3, I can just move my king back. And he's closed all the lines up here. Did I have any other plans? Well, the thing is, my pieces here are not great, are they? My bishop and knight. His bishop and knight are not great either. I feel that my decision to take with a pawn was actually quite wise. These two pawns, they control very useful squares in the centre of the board. I reckon, I mean, what does Aldo play? So he takes here. Okay, so I can take with both pieces. What do I take with? I don't think I'm going to get mated here. I've been wrong about that before. I'll probably... Can he get... Okay, if I take this way, is he going to try to get his queen... Oh, queen around like this? That takes a bloody long time for him. Well, if he moves his queen, then I take here. I should be safe, yeah? So I'm going to take here. No fear. He's only got one rook on that file. It's when you get double. It's when you get double rooks that you have to be a bit careful. So the thing I'm thinking, can he get his queen around here in time? Because then he, what I'm trying to do here, guys. I've been improving my position. So look, I've won a pawn. I've done that by slowly improving, but I also stopping his plans is just as important, if not more important. I keep saying this, but so many improving players forget about this. You've got to stop your opponent's plans, man. Yeah, you got to. So important. And so many players don't do this. Okay, so he's still coming at me. He's aggressive player. Okay, now I'm thinking my rook is not so good there. So do I bring it around here? And also I can't move my knight because my rook drops. So if he goes e5, I just take it. If he goes f4, I can take here. Now I could go rook c3, so my queen is free to move. So let's have a look. Rook here, here, takes. Oh dear. Okay, I'm very short time. This is the problem when I do this. So I don't like putting my rook there. I should have gone there, but I didn't have quite enough time to calculate. I was thinking about getting my rook here, but then he would have gone f4. I would have taken here. He takes, okay, here. So okay, so he's going to go f4 anyway. So I want to stop this one. So now my bishop must come back to try and hold f4. Again, I'm just trying to stop Aldo's ideas, but I might be regretting taking with this pawn now, because if he brings his queen around, he's played some very good moves here. How do I stop this plan with little time on the clock? I mean, I can put my bishop here, but I don't like the look of that. This is the problem. I've spent too much time. Too much time. Okay, so this is the move. This is the maneuver I'm worried about now. With little time on the clock, this is quite hard to deal with. I might be able to get counterplay like this. This is what I'm going to do, but if he goes this way, he stops my knight coming to b7. So queen here. But then my knight comes in, and then he goes queen here. Then I go check. He takes it, and then he goes queen h7. All of a sudden, I'm getting mated. It's very rude of him. So if he goes queen b8, I feel that is a good move, because then he's creating some threats. So queen b8. I might go bishop here, queen here, and I might have to put my... Oh, I don't like that, though. I don't like that at all. So Aldo's done very well to get counterplay up. My last move seems wrong. I should have put my rook on e1 because it takes me a while to get back. So if he goes queen here, what am I doing? I want to go knight here. He goes queen here. I haven't got much time, so I'm thinking in my opponent's time as much as I can. And I don't know how to stop this move then. I can go like something horrible, like move my queen here. But then he's got queen h3, mate. So this is a little bit scary. Obviously, Aldo's not listening to my commentary. He's a very honest guy. But I'm a little bit scared now. If he brings his queen around like this, this is a little bit scary. He's gone this way. Now, I'm hoping this is a slight mistake. I'm going to play it quickly because queen there would have stopped my knight coming to that square. This way. Now, if he goes here, I can take. So he's got to move his bishop back. And my knight seems to be a little bit more active now because I can come to c5. My knight over there was bad. That's why I thought he should put his queen on this square to stop this move. If he goes queen here, I go knight takes, rook c7 check. And I think I should be the one who's getting my attack in first. He's not listening because he would have played queen b8. He's just a good player. Aldo is a good player, you know. He's like a good player. He doesn't play, you know, doesn't play so much internet. Okay, so he's gone here. And now I'm hoping I can go knight here. And the point is, if he goes here, I come check and I swap queens off. And remember, I am a pawn up. So swapping queens is fine. I will win the ending. I've just got to avoid getting mated. My knight has drastically improved. It's come towards the center of the board. Okay, so now he can't move his queen. Because if he moves his queen, I will take here. So what I'm going to try to do is get my rook to a much more sensible square. Now he can still scare me here. He can move his king and come queen here. I mean, I could still definitely lose this one. But then I can take and move my bishop back to h4. This move's quite important because in some positions it gives me bishop h4. So can he play f4 first? With the idea of just opening my king up. f4, and if I go takes, can he go king g7? Oh no, where did he move his king? King here, takes, queen here. It's getting mental. All I need is like, I feel if I get a couple more moves in, I'm going to be winning. My rook is either coming to this. Okay, so he's moved his knight here. Now that doesn't scare me so much because I don't see what his threat is. He can't move this pawn I take here. His queen can't come over here. So I think I can get my last piece back round now safely, unless I'm missing some tactic. So I'm going to go here, here, and target this one. And this, okay, so it seems like my pieces have found much better squares than they did before. They were struggling before. If he goes here, I will take on g4. If he goes here, e6 drops. If he moves his rook here, he loses control of the h-file. And I think I feel a lot safer now. It was a very interesting game. I mean, I'm not saying I've won yet. Close. As long as I don't blunder, I feel I'm won. Okay, so he's moved here, but now if I go here, is that okay? Then he's going to go f4. Okay, I certainly haven't won yet. Do I defend that one? Here. Oh, God, I haven't got much time, have I? I'm going to go here, try to defend everything. But this is... I just realised if I go there, he's going to go f4. It's not as easy as I thought. So if he goes f4 now, I'm hoping I'm all right. Okay, so I need to now do something, yeah? Okay, let's go here. And if he takes my knight, I have blockaded this square forever, so I'm all right now. I'm definitely all right now. Let's undouble my pawns. I don't need them to be doubled anymore. And I think my king is safe. He can, oh, can he play there? That was silly. Did I let him do that? Because if I take, he's going to win my bishop. But even then, I have a lot of passed pawns. So maybe I should have taken the other way so my pawn controls this square. Because even if I go d4 here, he might get his knight into e4. But I seem like I'm just about control. Okay, so he's... Yeah, I mean, I should have taken... Don't know why I took this way. That was a very silly decision because now he's getting his pawn going. It's because I'm short of time. And I'm also allowing this check now. God! Williams. At least I've got bishop here to stop his rook doing something horrible. But I really took with the wrong pawn then. Taking this way was really crappy. It was a real crappy move. Okay. So I need to go here because I can't allow this one to come in. And I also have ideas to bring my queen to g5 now. But I could have stopped all of this counterplay by keeping a pawn on d4. It's funny that I'm actually up on time now. I've got loads of time, guys. All the time in the world. I could go and have a cup of coffee and come back. I could go and take my walk up the hill, have a quick beer at the top of a hill, empty hill, and come back. When will I do that? Maybe I'll do that tomorrow at some point. Okay, right, it's my move. Oh, okay, in we go, in we go, in we go. I've had enough of this defending malarkey. We're going to have to defend. And at least now, my queen, even if it's not active, at least it looks active. And I can come here. How are you a Grandmaster? Well, thank you for that kind comment, Apex. How am I a Grandmaster? By becoming one, sir. Right, well that didn't work because he stopped all my threats and I've helped his position. So what I am going to do though is now try to come back this way in some lines. Yes, that was a bad move. That was a bad move. I'm still moving a little bit quickly. As someone's pointed out, Queen h6 was better because then I would have stopped this e5 move. But of course, when you're short of time, your play is going to become a little bit worse. Now I'm actually get. Oh, then he goes pawn here. This is only one check, isn't it? It's only, but I can. Okay, I like this one because I think I can also try to use my c pawn. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, he can. Okay, rook e6. I've just realised. Then my queen can come around the back, maybe. I think oh, but then he can get a draw. Okay, well he won't go for a draw. I won't go for a draw. So I've got queen h7. Let's see what he does. I'm thinking my queen can come this way. Still actually a lot more complicated than I had anticipated. Okay, so that's annoying. It's annoying. Annoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is maybe come this way. If I swap queens, I feel I'm doing all right. Like h7 doesn't really seem to do anything, so I need to try come here. This one. Need to try to come here. Okay, and queen d8. Again, I think getting queens off is going to help me because my c pawn will probably become another queen, to be honest. So queen to d8. Get the queens off. If he ever goes e4 and he takes it, I'm not so scared because I can just go rook d1. So it doesn't scare me too much. Okay, so I'm going to get the queens off, or try to, because I feel the ending should be winning with my 3 pawns versus this wee little guy on a6. This wee little guy on a6. Oh, right, yo. Okay, so we have improved our position, but we've got to make the next step. He can't do anything, so I take here at the moment. And he can't really move much. What do I do next, though? Is there any tactics for taking here? No. Oh, time. Okay, let's get the rook behind the passed pawn. Because my queen is very active. It's all a bit of a, it's all becoming a bit of a blur now. Okay, now we get the queens off. Which one? Here or here? Which one do we do? Let's go here. This is what we want. And Charlie the C-pawn is ready to rock and roll. Is he going to come in here? He's still not doing anything. This is a good blocker. My bishop blocks everything. Hello, Anit, in the chat, and everyone else who's just logged in. Okay, well, we'll happily swap those guys off. Whoa! And now, okay, so he's going to go here and do this one, but that's the only thing. Okay, let's move my bishop to b6. My bishop's done its job. On b6, I defend c5. If I'd have gone a4 there, he'd have moved his knight to this square, and I can never go b5 because he goes rook takes c5. But in this situation we now see, I have a strong threat of just going here and here. So he's trying to create counterplay. I think now I need to try and stop that pawn. He's created some counterplay. His knight can come around here, which is a little bit annoying, but I will, as long as I stop this pawn, I'm very ready to come up. So let's go here, and this will be my winning plan eventually. Just got to stop him doing it. Another thing I can do is swing my rook around. So here, 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 rook goes c6. That's got to help me. Time to push. Let's do it. But now with the b pawn coming, my three pawns are coming up the board. I love this. Whenever I do these videos, you get so many people. What are they? What do I call them? Rating whores? Am I allowed to say that? Rating fiends. They basically they come on and go, oh my god, look at the rating. Why is the rating so low? Oh my god, the rating. You know, the kind of characters who, you know, you play Blitz online. You know, you lose 10 points online. You're like, oh, my life is destroyed. My rating has gone down. You know, if you could marry your rating, you bloody would do. You bloody would marry your rating, guys. Just get away from it. It's not all about how big things are. Has anyone ever told you that? It's about how you use your rating, not how big it is. You know, some of you should know that. Okay, I just realised you can go rook here now, which is a little bit annoying, but push it. Push him. So rook here is a little bit annoying. He's still coming. He's still coming. Can I go there? He takes. I go here. He takes. I queen. Right, so this should be a winning ending now. He's going to get in Zugzwang, I feel. Zugzwang is where he has... whatever he plays will weaken his position. So his Zugzwang is going to come up in a second or two. After king here, I just move my king, and he is in what we call Zugzwang. Okay, because whatever he plays now... Oh no, let's stop him going e3. We'll lose, I hope. If he moves his king, I take on d4. If he moves his rook, I go c7. If he moves his pawn, I take his pawn. If he moves that pawn, I take his pawn. So again, this is totally thinking about your opponent's move. Try to work out what your opponent's move is. If your opponent doesn't have any moves, then you can just pass. It's like Napoleon. I think it's a war tactic of Napoleon. Napoleon actually said, see, he had to make a move that blundered a pawn. And now it's easily winning. Napoleon actually said, if your opponent is doing a wrong plan in battle, so if your opponent is doing a wrong plan, Don't stop him from doing that wrong plan. Let him do the wrong plan. Encourage. Just say you can. If you see your opponent's going down the wrong path, don't be like, "Oh, I need to do something." Let him walk off the cliff. You know, it's a good way to win a game. Thank you for the game, Aldo. You haven't beaten me yet, son. One of these days. One of these days. And well, I think it was a very interesting game. And what we're going to do now, he was zugzwanged into resignation in the nation. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to analyse this game. I won't go over it in great detail because I've already discussed my ideas. But what I will do, let's offer a free DVD. Let's offer a free DVD. Okay, you've got 30 seconds to guess what the computer gives me as a percentage. Those of you who see my streams before, you'll know it. Oh, who's going to do this? Blair or Charlie? Can you see who gets nearest? Okay, 30 seconds. Oh no, this is going to be... Sorry to make this so complicated. Whoever gets... I'm going to tell you when to stop. Okay, and you win a free DVD from the GingerGM shop. The nearest to the prediction. I've given Blair and Charlie such a hard job now. Thank you for the 2%. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. No more. No more. Stop. 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 Oh, look at you all. Okay, stop, man. Okay, we're only going to take the first 20 answers or so, otherwise it gets ridiculous. Blair, can you do this for me? Blair, you're good with numbers. You're good with numbers. Whoever's putting numbers down, you are... Oh, dear. I bet you're a rating whore, aren't you? Whoever's typing numbers, you are a rating whore. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Is there anyone else going to be a bit of a knob? Anyone else? Stop. Stop. No, okay, sorry. I'm only joking. There we go. We have one more. Congratulations. Right, okay. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. Should we just ban everyone who puts a number down now? That's the way to do it. Okay, right. So let's put it on the computer and we'll have a little look what the computer says. How do we do this? We turn this on. I'll just readjust the screen. And my accuracy was... Did anyone get this right? Not very much. 77.6. Now, I would like to say that I don't always believe the computer. And some games are going to be a lot lower because they're a lot more complicated. It says nice comeback win. So it thinks I was losing there at some point. This is going to be quite interesting, actually, to see what the computer thinks. But don't get carried away what the computer thinks. It's a tool, and I use this more as, I would say, as... The chess.com thing is great. It is good, don't get me wrong. But I use this more as a sort of a... I'm just wondering, inquiry rather than anything else. But I don't think it's always correct. So let's have a look. Where did it go wrong? Okay, so we're going to go through this game quite quickly. So, Blair, can you find out? Charlie's saying Yobius was quite close. That's good enough for me. Unless Blair can also find out. But if Blair doesn't come back in a minute or two, then we'll go for Yobius. Right, let's have a look at the game. So, now it says that my first mistake, it says bishop e5 is inaccurate. It said it was this one, which is strange. And already I'm going to disagree with the computer. The computer wants me in this position to take that pawn. And I might well win a pawn. But I know. Okay, Blair, who was it? Blair? Miss Mona. Blair, you can tell the person to whoever you think is the winner. And the person who won the DVD, send an email to me at my email, which I'm about to put in the chat. There it is. My other one doesn't seem to be working. Pick a DVD from the GingerGM shop. It has to be a digital download because the post office ain't working no more. And I'll send it over to you. Oh, thank you for the raid, Monkey Chess, even though we're coming to the end. Monkey Chess, another guy you should all be following. Strong Grandmaster. Okay, so here I don't believe the computer's right because I know I can win a pawn here, but I know from experience that after something like e5 in these positions, black gets counterplay. So I don't believe it. But let's have a look where it gets a bit more exciting, shall we? So g5 was indeed a bit dubious. This move it thinks is not good. Okay, he thinks this is good. This is good. All right, I don't believe it there either. I'm going to get to a position where it's interested. Oh, it likes my pawn takes pawn. That surprises me. H5, rook c1. Rook c8 is an inaccuracy. b4 is best. This all looked pretty normal, guys, didn't it? Oh, look at that. I mean, look at that. Why do you call castling excellent? The only time that castling is excellent is when you castle with checkmate, which I've never done yet. I've never castled with checkmate yet, but I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day, the glorious day, where we can castle with checkmate. Is that Mr. Darren in the chat? Maybe it is. Darren a bum ratty. Maybe it is. If it is, hello to Darren, good friend of ours. Okay, Blair, you can say who's won the free DVD. Thank you for helping out there, Blair. I'll even give you a free DVD if you want. How about the Jabava London system, Blair? Okay, let's get to where it gets interesting. Now, this all seemed... Wow, that's a mistake. Why is that a mistake? Pawn takes knight is a mistake. What on earth is he talking about? It wanted to get rid of the knight on d2. That's interesting. Maybe a good decision because this knight becomes quite strong. Okay, let's keep going. Bishop f4. g3, another obvious and excellent move. Bishop here. Here we go. Oh, it wants me to, I mean, I was thinking about that. I wasn't sure which was... This looks okay. It can't be a bad move, surely. Knight to f8 there, hey? Knight to f8. Can't I just win a pawn if knight to f8? I don't get it at all. I don't understand the computer today. The computer's being weird. But I wanted to have a look at this queen b8 move. This is where it's getting critical. Oh, a blunder. I've actually blundered here. Wow. How can that be a blunder, hey? What should I play? It says, hang on a minute, I don't understand this. Knight, I should have gone knight take, it gives this 2 dubious marks. What on earth is it going on about? What on earth is this computer doing? Okay, so king f7, and now it thinks I'm slightly worse. So actually, this is, to be honest, where I was getting worried. So in some ways, the computer, I give you a high five, computer. And it's funny, you can play a nice game, get all the right ideas, but if you get your tactics wrong, you will still lose. So I should have played knight takes here. Now, what would have happened? This is completely winning by the looks of it. If he takes here now. Well, I now play takes here. Oh, and he can't take here because I've got queen takes e7. I see. I have this move. That is why it's completely winning. So that was a little bit of blindness from me. And it shows you how important tactics are. Because after rook takes, king g2, we get this position. My opponent playing very well. And this is where I was very short of time. So my next move is not very nice. My opponent now... Oh, come on. It can't be that bad move, knight to f6. Okay, let's keep going. And now I was really worried about queen b8. So did the computer pick up on this? Oh, it does. Look at that. So the computer is sometimes right. And had it gone queen b8, I was very scared here because I don't have my knight to b7 move creating counterplay. And my opponent is just trying to do this to me, which is really, really rude of him. He's got to learn some manners. That's a very... Look at that. It's a long idea, but it's a strong idea. It's a strong idea. Yeah, Chris, you got it there. So, in the game, I think it was always going to be quite good for me now. Even though I don't know if I played it correctly. E5 best, but he's always in trouble. And... Well, it wants me to grab another pawn, but I'm not that greedy. Let's have a look. Okay, this is where I played a big mistake. I should definitely take with the B pawn, and I'm easily winning them because I stop all of his counterplay. This was a major error, so I agree there. Because after this move, all of a sudden my opponent is still losing, but he gets a little bit of counterplay. And I think I'm always winning around here. I should have gone queen h6, I know, but I'm still winning. So it doesn't matter too much. This is still always going to be quite good. And, oh, come on, it's not that bad. Oh, I missed the tactic there. Did anyone see this in the chat? I could have gone rook takes e5. rook takes, and queen f6 check, winning the rook. Quite simple when you see it, but I was playing a little bit quickly here because I wanted to get the queens off. I was following my plan, and it only thinks this is a little bit better for me, which I find very hard to believe. It thinks the ending is okay. Oh, that can't be true. It can't be true. And I think now this is always winning. The reason I didn't go a4 now, if you remember I was talking about this, I was worried my bishop would get out of the game. He can go knight e6, and how does my bishop get back in the game? It can't come to any of these squares, and also I can't play here because my opponent can now just take here. So that's why in the game I put my bishop onto b6 first to defend that, and then I have the same idea eventually of just playing, okay, b5. My opponent certainly lost around here. Now, it says that was a blunder. Was that a blunder? No, it's still winning. It's still completely winning. So even though it's a blunder by the computer, you're still completely winning. And this is a very human way to play. I didn't need to defend that. I should have just pushed my pawn, but I was stopping a check along here. And now, oh, again, go away, computer. This is not a big mistake. My opponent is running out of moves, and this is the position which I said is Zugzwang. Quite a chess term. Because whatever my opponent moves, he's going to be making his position worse. For example, he moves the rook. Now my c-pawn can move, and this is winning. My king is very safe on g2 if it ever gets checked. If he moves his king, well, I take here with check. If he moves his king here, he's not attacking this pawn anymore, so I can go b6. He can't play rook takes b6, which is winning. If he moves this pawn, I simply take it. And in the game, he moved this pawn, and I simply took it, and it's very easily winning. So that was that long play game. So let's say a big thank you to my opponent, Aldo, who is, I would say, FIDE master strength. He doesn't play international chess, but he's 22 to 2300. So thank you for the game. I hope you found that interesting in the chat. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to everyone who's come along today. Tomorrow I'll be back at the same time. If you're a subscriber, I think we will do some subscriber blitz with prizes. So if you're subscribed to my Twitch channel, you get a chance to play me tomorrow, hopefully. I'm not guaranteeing you'll all get a chance to play me, but some of you will get a chance to play me. And if you beat me tomorrow, you get a free DVD from the best chess shop in the world. Kind of, maybe. Well, it's in the top. It's in the top 1,000. It's in the top 1,000 best chess shops in the world, online ones. If it was real life shop, in the top 10,000. It's one of the best 1,000 chess shops in the world. All the DVDs you can download from my shop there. Digital downloads. Go and have a look. See if there's an opening you want to learn. There's some great stuff. We've got lots of different presenters. Very cheap. If you're looking at something to do. And my courses for Chessable, if you want to learn an opening, they're on sale, I think, for about another 5 days. So they're all on about half price. So it's a good time to get one of those if you like the way. Download a DVD. I don't know. Download a video. Whatever it's bloody called. You know. You get the idea. You get the idea. Hello to people I know in the fresh. What's that? Flesh, Darren, Blair, everyone else. And thank you all for coming along. I'm going to call it a day now. I've got a meat delivery to do. Don't even go there. And I will be back tomorrow. So I hope to see you tomorrow. One more thing. Where's this link to the Farnham Chess Club? If you want to take part in a tournament I'm doing, then look at the schedule below the video. On Monday evening, I'm going to be taking part in a chess club tournament, Farnham Chess Club tournament, which is my first ever chess club. So now we can't play in the flesh. We can play online. And if you want to take part in that tournament, you have to join their club. Let me just see how I can do it. How do we do it? Anyone got a link? Charlie, can you find me a link? Let's see if I can find it. 1 second. So you have to be on chess.com. Let's go to chess.com clubs. Where's the link? I'm sure I had a link a while back. Where are the clubs? Where chess.com clubs? Someone find the link for me, please. Where's the clubs? Farnham Chess Club? Where's Farnham Chess Club? Okay, let's see if I can do it this way. I'm going to give you a link. There it is. If you want to play in the tournament, I'm putting the link. There you go. Go and join that chess club. It's an online chess club, Farnham. And as you can see, on Monday, there's a 10-minute, 5-round tournament, which you can take part in, which I'm going to stream. And you might get a chance to play me live on the stream. You don't have to pay any money. Anyone can do this. It's my first ever chess club, Farnham Chess Club. So go and follow the link there. Join up if you're free on Monday night. I might even stream our game there. You might get a chance to play me or play someone else. So cheers. Goodbye. Take care. Until next time.